This is Kim's Vash The Stampede Jacket from the Anime Trigun. I'm Hawk. I make props and costumes. And today we're going to make a copy of this one for our friend Karina. She's about the same size as Kim, so it's pretty much going to be just an identical copy. We've made a couple of these, so this should be relatively easy. First thing we're going to do is take our 5 yards of canvas and wash and dry it so I know it doesn't shrink at all. And then we're gonna, while that's washing, we're gonna go through pattern pieces. This is Kim's pattern right here. She made this pattern based off of a 1/6 action figure that she has had for a very long time. She went, oh, well, I'll just multiply every measurement by 6 and that'll give me exactly what I need. And I'm like, that's not how patterns work. You can't do it like that. And whenever I tell my wife she can't do a thing, she goes, oh yeah? You want to bet? So clearly, she knew what she was doing way better than I did. Studied patterns for decades to try and understand how fabric works. And she would not take my action figure and multiply it by 6. There are days. There are days. All right. This is the front. So this jacket is basically just a bunch of panels. Most of them aren't even connected. No seam allowance. Collar. Needs seam allowance. I believe that's the back. The back. And then the rest of the back. All right. Very few pieces to this thing. We've got a front, a back, a collar, the is this a duster? I don't know what that would be called. Cowl, I guess. The back of the cowl, the front of the cowl, and then the sleeves. The cowl is canvas on both sides. Everything else gets aligned with a red fabric. Should be pretty simple. I'm going to take all these pieces inside and then iron them. Because working with a nice, neatly ironed pattern, way easier than trying to fight folds and rolls and things like that. So we'll be back as soon as the fabric has been washed and dried and everything's been ironed and ready to go. So these are Kim's original patterns. I'm not going to modify these. These are hers. I'll iron them flat so I can use them, but that's about it. But I have a couple of them that, unfortunately, have no seam allowance. And I have a hard time working off of something without seam allowance. So I'm going to trace everything, make my own set so I have a copy. And I can roll them up, put them with the rest of them. But I'm just going to trace all of these, add seam allowance while I'm waiting for the washer and dryer to finish. New pattern has been ironed. The fabric has been laundered, ironed, and folded. So now we just chalk everything up, cut it out, and we'll reevaluate at that point. Nice thing about cutting everything out like this, I know exactly what I have and exactly what I need. So I can lay pieces out, move it around, see what works, see what doesn't. Try and maximize my fabric. So I have all the fabric cut out, all the lining cut out. We should be good to go for sewing everything together. We do not have time this time to sew everything together though. So next week we make this pile of fabric look like this pile of fabric. And that's something you want to watch? Something you're interested in seeing? Maybe think about sticking around. I have lots of videos on how to make costumes. It's kind of what I do. Did you watch the original? The Trigun? My teenager is binge watching, since I'm working on this one, they're binge watching the original series. Then they're going to watch the Stampede and then read the manga. Did you watch the new one? It's kind of interesting. It's more Wolfwood's story than it is Vash's story, but what did you think of it? Maybe leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Thanks for making it to the end. I do have channel membership if that's something you may be interested in. Throw me a couple bucks every month. Other than that, I'll see you next time.